Greetings, everyone. And on behalf of President Paller and the faculty and staff of the SANS Technology Institute, thank you for being here today. Of course, in today's strange world, here means wherever you are in your bubble as we digitally connect all of our bubbles. The master's class of 2020 has surely experienced an interesting and tumultuous ending to their academic journey. If your class had a theme song, I believe a leading contender would surely have to be the 1812 Overture, right? As it concludes with its furious chorus of brass instruments and its thunderous cannon volleys. On the other hand, this past year has made more clear than ever, I think, the desperate need for highly skilled technical security leaders such as yourselves. Different from a year ago, today nearly everyone from to our grandparents are living more of their life online than ever before. Working, shopping, food delivery, banking, entertainment, everything. So even as the pandemic recedes and life begins to return to something like normal, those behaviors won't change back at the same rate, if ever. More of the world than ever before is now relying upon secure accounts, networks, and infrastructure, which means more of the world than ever before is relying upon you. With that as the welcome, it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce your speaker for our first ever virtual commencement, a gentleman who truly needs no introduction, SANS faculty fellow Ed Scotus. For those of you, and presumably that is all of you who already know Ed, you know that anything he does in big and amazing ways. Ed is the founder and leader of the teams that have built learning masterpieces such as NetWars and all of its permutations, along with those cyber physical gems such as Cyber City and Cybertropolis. He's currently the program lead for all of the ranges, challenges, and simulations that SANS is developing across the full spectrum of its curriculum. And at this point in his lengthy and distinguished career, Ed has trained in excess of 30,000 cybersecurity professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Mr. Ed Scotus.
Thank you, Eric. I really do appreciate your kind and very generous introduction, and I can only thank my team for all of their hard work in what they've accomplished. I'd like to welcome and congratulate all of our graduates today. Also, welcome to your families and friends who are joining us to celebrate your amazing accomplishment. I'd like to start by sharing one of my favorite memories. It's from the first ever SANS Technology Institute graduation ceremony. You can picture it. There we were up on the stage, some of us wearing our academic regalia. I was standing next to Stephen Northcutt, and Stephen turned to me and he said this: "I think this might be the most important thing we've done in our careers, this college. People will forget us, but they will remember this institution and especially the graduates. The graduates and what they accomplish are what is going to be remembered." And as this world has changed over the past couple of years, I think about the wisdom of that statement. It occurs to me more and more how correct it was and is. And it's all due to the work of incredible graduates like you. Now, to see how the world is changing and fast forward, consider just these three illustrations from just the last 3 months. In December, investigators identified the SolarWinds attack. Highly sophisticated nation-state attackers placed malicious backdoors inside the software development process of computer management tools. These tools were used by tens of thousands of organizations, commercial companies, government agencies, and even some military groups. And via these backdoors, these attackers had vast access to detailed information from all kinds of organizations. Their actions were powerful and subtle. And honestly, we'll be cleaning up that SolarWinds attack for the next several years. As a second illustration of this rapidly changing landscape, last month we got news of a cyber attack against a water treatment plant in Florida. A malicious actor tried to contaminate the water supply for a Florida town. Think about that. The adversary remotely logged into a computer system using leaked credentials and altered the configuration of the system. The attacker's goal was to change the amount of lye, the chemical lye, in the water from 100 parts per million to 11,100 parts per million. That would have caused serious threat to life and limb. Thankfully, an alert human operator at the plant noticed the change and rolled it back. No one was hurt, but the potential for a life-impacting, devastating tragedy is all too real. We got lucky on that one. Thirdly, Over the past couple of weeks, we've witnessed yet another nation-state level attack exploiting major vulnerabilities in Microsoft Exchange Server. Again, tens of thousands of organizations have been compromised. And even as we speak right now, attackers are leveraging their control of these systems to deploy ransomware. That ransomware is starting to encrypt mission-critical secrets and will cause billions of dollars in damage. So the game has changed. It's gotten more dangerous, more serious, and exponentially harder. But you graduates are also game changers for the good. You're already making the world a safer, more secure place. These amazing graduates today will join 642 total alumni of the college who are fighting the good fight. For those SANS Technology Institute alums who have earned their master's degree, 42% of them are in senior positions, such as CISO, CTO, vice president, principal, or director. And they work at organizations like Amazon, Apple, Boeing, Cisco, Citibank, IBM. I mean, this is quite a list. Microsoft, Visa, Walmart, and so many more. And I'm really proud to say 6 of these graduates are now instructors with the SANS Institute. You know, I'm not only proud of each of our past graduates and this new crew, but I'm tremendously thankful for all they've done, and more important, that all they will do. Today, as we celebrate your accomplishment of graduation, we also celebrate all the incredible work you will do making our world a safer, more secure place. So to you all, we offer our congratulations. You have earned it. Thank you. You made it. And one final note, while the graduates themselves did a tremendous amount of work to earn their degrees, we also understand and sincerely appreciate the sacrifices their families had to make to support the graduates in their work. Long nights, full weekends spent studying, intense pressure and preparing for those exams. We recognize that that puts a toll on the family, and the family has sacrificed and invested in all of you graduates to help with your success. The families made this all possible. Thank you all. So at this point, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, the president of the college, Alan Paller. President Paller's vision and wisdom have truly shaped the college since its inception. I frequently hear faculty and staff say, you know, I learned that thing from Alan Paller, or here's what Alan would do in this situation. And I know this is true because I've said it so many times myself. When important decisions need to be made or relationships need to be built, many of us try to channel our inner Alan to figure out the optimal way to proceed. We're all deeply grateful to Alan for his leadership and mentorship, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what Alan has to share today. So Alan, take it away.
Thank you, Ed. They get better as you get older, these introductions, but thank you very much. The stories that Ed told you just now are important and they're visible, but they are just the visible portion of what is actually happening in cyberspace. Below the surface, there is another entire cyber conflict going on in which nation states are penetrating our power companies and our banks and our telecommunications companies in order to be able to take advantage of them in a way I'll tell you in a little while. But I'm telling you about this because the United States is responding in a new way. It'll be announced in a few weeks in a program that is aimed at finding 25,000 cyber stars by 2025. Because there is no way to fight back in cyberspace without them. And the reason I'm going to tell you in advance is you are literally the model. The graduate program's alumni are the model around which this program was designed. What is wrong with the SANS graduate program, and really the only big thing that's wrong with it, is there's so few graduates. And that's because it's so hard and you just work your tail off. And this is a program to try to give people a lot longer to get through the education process and to find people who can do that. So I want to tell you a little bit about it, but I want to tell you why first. And the why is that right now, no defense exists against sophisticated nation state attacks. Let me say that again. No matter how much of a budget you have, you cannot fight back against you. Well, you cannot defend against a sophisticated nation state attack. They will go around it. And this becomes particularly true if things heat up to the level that nation states are starting to lob things at other nation states rather than just using it for espionage. And what I'm saying here is that you have let me make sure, we have a situation where when an attack comes at us, no matter what tools we have, if it's sophisticated enough, we cannot stop it. And once you get that, you start to have conversations that are very different from, did you buy this tool or did you buy that tool? And this program the US is announcing in a few weeks is aimed at trying to solve that. The reason that it's so important in this field is that if things heat up to the boiling point and it becomes something closer to international conflict, there will be cyber weapons used. Think Stuxnet, for example. There will be cyber weapons used. And the characteristic of a cyber weapon, when a nation state does it, is that the nation state buys every known defense. The nation state that's building it buys every known defense, and it engineers all those defenses, and it finds ways around them so that when that weapon is launched, there are no known automated defenses against it. That's what makes it an effective weapon. But what makes this different from regular weapons is that when a bomb goes off, it destroys itself. And when a cyber weapon goes off, it leaves enough data about itself that the victim can grab that data, grab that code, change it a little bit, and send it back. Now think for a minute what you just heard. They're taking code that is known to get around every known defense. So if that comes back at us, what defense do we have? And that's what the concern is, and that's what's behind this program. The person who designed and sort of thought up this program is a man named Michael Asante, who was the nation's top expert on cybersecurity and power systems. He was the chief security officer of the North American Electric Reliability Corporation, which is in charge of all cybersecurity, all security actually for the power systems in America and in the US and Canada. He was also, this isn't as well known, he was the man who led the team at Idaho National Labs who discovered and proved that a remote access to the computers around an electric generator can cause the generator to blow up. So not to stop working, but to blow up. So you have to buy a new generator. And that becomes terrible. And he was asked, so what is the defense? And he said, the only defense I know is a team of people inside each of our critical organizations that are so expert on the networks that they're defending and so expert on the types of attacks that can come at them and so capable of writing code to automate the alterations in those systems to find bad stuff in real time that they can get the dwell time of these attackers near zero so the damage they can do is minimized. The problem we have is those people are rare. So rare that the best estimate that NSA came out with is between 700 and 1,000 of them in the country. And the best estimate that everybody's come up with is the needs are between 30,000 and 60,000. So this program is designed to develop over the next 5 years, 25,000 cyber stars. And as I said, you are the models for these people. They are, just as of Monday, 27,000 high school students were competing in a game to see who had the tenacity and curiosity and learning speed to do well. 10,000 college students will compete with about 5,000 high school students separately, two separate groups, for $2 million in scholarships in a couple of weeks. It's a major program. It hasn't been announced, but it's operating. That will go, we hope will go to 1 million students within the next couple of years to find that talent. But you're the model. And the reason I'm telling you about it is we're going to come to you and ask you to do a little videos of what life is like as a superstar cybersecurity person that we're going to set up as a video library for the 100,000 kids who are involved in the program over the next few years. So you can say no, but when we ask you, I'm hoping you'll say yes, because I don't think we have a more important program than finding more use. With that, let me give it back to Ed.
Thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. Really interesting programs, good stuff. So now we're at the point in the ceremony where it is my honor to present the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Information Security Engineering. Andrew A. Eric Asti. David Brown. Scott Feather. Shelley Geisbrecht. Alfredo Hickman. Drew Helm. Michael Hoffman. Richard Hummel. James Richard Kuiper. William Naffel. Kareem Lalji. Stephen Launius. Michael Hendrick Matthey. Joseph F. Matthews. Tobias McCurry. Brian Allen Nishida. Scott Perry. Rebel Powell. Lenny Rollison. Dennis D. Taggart III. David Thomas II. And finally, Billy Wilson. Now, it is my honor to present the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Information Security Management. Stephen Austin Sr. Mark Lucas. And Shauna Turner. We will now unmute everyone and ask that you join us in celebrating the SANS Technology Institute Class of 2020.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Good job, everybody.
Good
job, everyone.
Truly, congratulations, definitely. So we now have a few messages from our graduates that I'd like to share with you.
Class of 2020, a year filled with challenge and hardship, but also a year that we can celebrate because, class, we did it. We overcame and we made our dreams come true.
I live by the words of Gene Kranz, tough and competent. Tough means we are forever accountable for what we do or what we fail to do. Competent means we will never be found short in our knowledge or our skills. We will never take anything for granted. These words best describe the SANS Master's Program. From my classmates that guided me through uncharted waters, to the instructors who turned what could have been dry courses into relevant learning journeys, everyone has shown the aspects of tough and competent.
I see where I was when I started the program. I was a senior person in my company, been in the cyber industry for a very long time. But when I first started, I realized that I had a lot to learn. As I went through the program, I could see the growth and improvement, not just from an engineering perspective, but also from a leadership perspective. I was able to hone in on my leadership skills, Learned a lot about the industry and things that were going on in the industry through this program. So this has just been an awesome experience all around.
When I started the program, I already had a master's degree and a PhD. So for me, gaining the new knowledge, the new skills, the hands-on experience, that's what I expected. And as always, SANS did not disappoint.
The thing I most value has to be the associations and the friendships that I made with some of the brightest minds in the field. And that includes the instructors, the advisors, and my peers in the program.
Enrolling in the master's program was one of the best decisions I ever made, not just for the academic advancement, but the amazing people I met along the way. Having the opportunity to attend live SANS conferences, network with those in the community, and participate in events like NetWars was an incredible experience that I will carry forward. Being successful in this program would not have been possible without the amazing people at STI, including the graduate student advisors, the research committee, the amazing instructors, and of course my family.
My wife has actually been an incredible supporter and encourager, allowing me to have those evenings and weekends to focus on courseware, class studies, and taking all these exams. And both my daughters, Katie and Amy, spent some time reviewing my papers, providing some pointers, and also on my presentations. Tim Conway, ICS curriculum lead in SANS. Tim, you've been such an amazing supporter and just somebody I look towards as I grow my career in this space. Kind of look to you in that area. And then Jeff Shear, of course, he's in the ICS curriculum. Just a great friend and mentor, and always there to encourage me along the way. Last but not least, Liz Diamond, thank you so much for encouraging me and supporting me along the way, Liz.
I'm grateful to God, my family, my employer, for the opportunity, strength, and support that it took to get through this program. I look forward to the opportunities ahead now and to take the lessons I learned along with me into those.
I wanted to start off with thanking my advisor, Bridget. Also wanted to thank a lot of the veterans that I met in the program. Also wanted to thank my former bosses and mentors, Kara, Dave, and Greg. They again motivated me to strive to be the best and work through not only work life, but also completing the master's program. And finally, I want to thank my family. My family helped motivate me a lot, helped me push through the hard times and the times that I just wanted to give up. So I definitely want to thank my mom and dad. I want to thank my brother Peter. I also want to thank my brother from another mother, Nick, and especially my wife, Erin, for helping me.
I send my deepest thanks to my wife, Karen, the most tough and competent person I know, who was convinced I could accomplish a Master of Science degree even when I thought I couldn't. And my children, Xavier and Emily, for tolerating their dad on the computer for many hours, none of them on Minecraft.
I wanted to especially thank my wife and my sons, as this program took a little bit longer than expected, but the help and support that you gave me during this time really enabled me to go and follow my passion. I want to thank Scott and Tobias for helping me during this time, during the multiple hours of studying, the learning. You guys were there, so thank you very much for that.
Send a shout out and a special thanks to Rebecca. She's been an awesome advisor. Shout out and thank you to Brian Simon, who was my advisor for my gold paper. He was awesome, and just working with him throughout that experience. The best advice I would give my classmates or anybody who's looking at starting this experience is that just be ready to grow yourself. Don't feel very uncomfortable initially, but just stick at it and you will really grow. And like I said, for me, I grew in all areas.
Hey, class of 2020. Congratulations. We made it. We made it all the way to the end. We survived a prestigious educational circumstance in the middle of a pandemic. If we can do this, we can do anything. But there is a quote I wanted to share because someone should have something somewhat fluffy to say. And that quote is from Helen Mirren. You will stumble and fall. You will experience both disaster and triumph, sometimes in the same day. But it's really important to remember that, like a hangover, neither triumphs nor disasters last forever. We are setting foot on a whole new journey, and we are equipped to do it. And I look forward to hearing the amazing things you guys will bring to the information security industry.
Incredible. We're going to miss having all of you around on a day-to-day basis, and we're so proud as you head out to do and continue to do great things. Ladies and gentlemen, alumni, faculty, and staff, this concludes today's commencement ceremony. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's ceremony.